Hey guys, Zen here, and I think it's finally time to discuss one of the most controversial operators in Rainbow Six Siege at the moment, and that's Jackal. Without a doubt, at this time in the game, Jackal is the most banned operator on attack, and I mean, let's be honest here, he might just be the most banned operator in the whole game at this point. So I want to talk about that, and I think I have a few suggestions that may make Jackal a little less banned, and hopefully this can act as that small light at the end of the tunnel for you Jackal mains, because I won't lie, I genuinely feel for you guys ever since pick and ban was brought to ranked, and it made me appreciate being a Kaid main myself because most of the time I can at least pick him. But it's possible Jackal may soon see a nerf, and so let's get on with it. Now, before we begin, I want to give a shout to my partners over at Now Sense. For anyone new here, Now is a drink designed for gamers to increase reaction time and performance, and what makes it so great is that it's healthy and lacks any of the stuff you don't want, like caffeine, which could just make you jittery, guys. So right now, they've got a special for us, and it's for a 12-pack. You get 6 lemon balm elderberry and 6 raspberry blueberry flavors, and they'll throw in a free shaker once you purchase. Now, if you're looking for anything else in the shop, use code ZEN, and if you have any questions at all, you can always hit them up on Messenger. Make sure you guys check out the link at the top of the description to get your hands on this deal, and as always, thank you to Now for sponsoring this video. So, I actually wanted to begin with some recent news, and it's that Ubisoft announced an update to the Community Concerns blog. Now, we'll be going over everything in a video coming soon, but for now, they mentioned that they see the high ban rate of a few operators, namely Blitz, Echo, and of course Jackal in ranked. They go on to say, we're discussing how we want to approach the topic of balancing around pick and ban in ranked and the operators that are affected the most by it. So it looks like Ubisoft sees just how often operators like Jackal are being banned, and from their perspective, it's time to do something about it. Now, the star of the show is Jackal, and I think there are a few obvious reasons why he's being banned as much as he is, but also there are some interesting ways to tweak him that could hopefully decrease his ban rate. Now, before we continue, I'm genuinely curious. Why does your team choose to ban Jackal? I know for my team, a lot of the times it's because we're starting out on defense and want the ability to roam freely, but every squad is different. So if you are constantly banning this operator, what's the method behind the madness? But aside from his main gadget, I actually wanted to talk about his secondary options because I think that's where a lot of his utility is coming from. So Jackal has access to smoke grenades, and one way I could see him changing is by swapping out those smoke grenades with Ying and take on her Claymore. Right now, I think Ying is in a rough spot in the meta. I think after the most recent reversal Ubisoft made to her Candela, a lot of the community just stopped picking her because she just doesn't feel the same, and at least for me, the gadget feels a little awkward. But I think more people stopped using her back when she lost her smokes because they just synergized so well with her main gadget, and her gameplay loop was just totally different. So yeah, I'm someone who thinks Ying needs her smoke grenades back, and I can't think of a better operator to get them from than Jackal. As far as how this affects Jackal, like I said, it reduces some of his utility and forces your team to pick another op for smokes. But I think a Claymore makes sense for Jackal for watching his back while he scans for footsteps. Of course, there are many other factors, but generally speaking, I think this swap would help to reduce the effectiveness of Jackal and increase the allure of choosing Ying. Now, moving on, we can talk about his main gadget, the Inox visor. There are so many elements to how a Jackal scan actually works, but in this video, I wanted to focus on two mainly. First, the footsteps themselves, and secondly, the duration of the ping. So with the footsteps, one thing I could imagine would reduce the frustration of playing against him is to not leave any scannable footprints during the prep phase. So basically, this would make it so that roaming ops like Cav and Vigil can kind of get where they want to be without worrying too much about being tracked from footsteps left back near the objective. This is especially frustrating when you have objectives like Kitchen on Coastline, for example, where Jackal can just walk up to the main window and scan your prints from when you spawned in and mark you wherever you may be. If footsteps are left only once the action phase begins, then I believe it'd make roamers more confident in moving around the map and not always so fearful of where they've been during setup. The other aspect is the ping itself, and I think a simple change would be to give him one less scan or reduce the duration of how long you stay pinged after you've been scanned. I'm not sure of the exact time, but I think Jackal can pin you down with all 3 scans for over a minute, which is a lot in a 3-minute meta. Even ops like Dokkaebi and Lion don't compare to how difficult it can be to get a grasp on a Jackal that's tracking you. Not only is it an exact positioning ping, it also shows your location to the entire attacking team, similar to Lion, which could leave you vulnerable at all angles. I think if Ubisoft really wanted to change this operator and really wanted to make a significant change here, they could make it so that only Jackal sees the ping. But those are some of the ideas of how Ubisoft could look at his gadget. Pretty much everything everything about Jackal is good, and I've always loved him for that, but I think the reason he's banned more often than not is because of his gadget. So let us move on. Now, the last thing I wanted to note, and something that I think is really important at this time in particular, is the fact that Jackal is like Jaeger, and he's really the only one who does what he does on the attacking side, and so I believe it'll probably stay this way until Ubisoft introduces another operator that does what he does with a twist. Jaeger is just fundamental, so I'll admit maybe it isn't the best comparison, but that exclusivity matters, and Jackal needs more direct competition if he ever wants to be seen in ranked. There isn't too much more to elaborate on. I think Jaeger isn't banned for this exact reason on defense, but because of the frustration Jackal can bring, he is. All in all, Jackal needs something. Is it a nerf? Is it the introduction of a new operator? Or is it an adjustment to the pick and ban system itself? Honestly, at this point, he's banned every single game for me, with Monty kind of creeping up into second place. But if we want Jackal to be a part of the meta, something is going to have to adjust very soon here. Now, if you're looking for a more satisfying ending, I'll say, yeah, Jackal should probably be nerfed. Even after everything in this video, we haven't even gotten to his weapons, which especially with the C7E are just amazing and contenders for some of the best in the game. If he isn't nerfed, then we can just continue to expect him to be banned, and that's disappointing because frankly, I miss Jackal. But that's the video, guys. That's everything I wanted to go over here. There's a lot to cover with this, but of course I want to hear your thoughts. What can be done to Jackal to hopefully see him more in rank? And again, I ask, why do you ban him? Leave it all in a comment down below. If you did enjoy this video, please drop a like and subscribe with notifications if you're new. With that being said, it's been Zen. I'm out.